It's been about 6 months since making my first video on how to turn your neighborhood into a community, and I figured it's probably time for a progress report. So, I wanted to go over some of the success stories that we've had so far as we gear up for this new neighborhood makeover show that I'm working on, where I'm going to actually film people going through the process of doing a neighborhood makeover. In the early days, I was really hoping that this would just work and somebody would do it. And I really quickly started getting photos and stories of what it was like knocking on doors and getting people together for their first meetup. And so I compiled some of those early stories, and I just want to go through some of those now, show you that this works for different people all over the country, and share some different flyers people have made, show some photos from neighborhood gatherings, and just check in on what it's been like the last 6 months helping people turn their neighborhoods into communities. This is a post from Alex. It's one of the early posts in the community, and she had just come off our Zoom call and she was super pumped, but she was starting to get nervous about knocking on doors. And so she made this post to ask for encouragement in getting out there and knocking on neighbors' doors. Shortly after this, she did, and she hosted a great event, and it was really impactful for her. One of the early people that really got excited about doing this work. This will forever be one of my favorite things. I tell Kevin's story all the time in my Zoom calls. Kevin understood the assignment when it comes to not putting in too much effort to your first event. Kevin's flyer said, bring your own drinks, bring your own chair. He was just providing lawn space. It was the most sort of like casual thing ever. And this was it. He got, 15 people together in his front lawn. They hung out for hours, and they ended up doing that. He and his neighbors got together a bunch, and apparently they get together a lot now. So this was one of my early success stories, and seeing this picture definitely made me cry. It was great. This is Rebecca's story. As it was starting to get cold in October, she hosted a cocoa night. So it was something warm to get everybody together, and she got 30 people to show up in her driveway. Again, it just shows that you don't need to put a lot of effort into these first parties. People just want to be together, and hanging out on driveway doesn't sound like a crazy party, but 30 people showed up and they had a really great response. This is Catherine. She's one of the first people that really started liking and commenting on my content early on when I started posting, and it gave me a lot of energy to keep going. But she hosts these soup nights, and this was her post sharing the success of her first soup night, where basically the host makes soup, and then the next time somebody else hosted at their house and they make the soup, and everybody else brings everything else. This was a big success for her. She's held like 4 of these over the winter now. She still comments and likes on stuff. She's really been an active member of the community, and it's been great to see her neighborhood grow. These post door knocking messages are some of my favorite things that we get at Hey Neighbor, because everybody's always so nervous about knocking on doors. And afterwards, universally, people are super pumped because you go knock on doors and people are so happy and grateful that you're doing it. She's saying that she's got new people in her neighborhood and people that have been there for over 20 years, and they're all super excited to finally get to be part of that. Think about this. You probably are or know somebody like this. You lived in a neighborhood for 20 years and you don't know any of your neighbors, and then all of a sudden someone comes around and says, let's be a community. Heck yes. I love this. One of my favorite parts about the Hey Neighbor community has been the different kinds of flyers that we get to see. There's like all kinds of different design styles, and every single one I'm like, gosh, I'm terrible at this. You guys are so much better. This was the front yard s'mores party, which I really loved. And I think she ended up getting like 15 or 20 people to show up to this. But again, s'mores are not expensive, easy to do, and it's a fun activity for lots of people. This is the first time somebody used Hey Neighbor in the flyer, which I think was really great. And the other cool part about this is this was bring a snack, bring a chair, bring your own drink. Kara didn't do anything other than make the flyer and knock on doors, and people still loved it, and they had a great time. I love this flyer. I think I remember this photo was taken right at the end of the meetup because she was having so much fun. She forgot to take a picture, but easy up tent, bunch of people in a circle on a lawn. These sorts of meetups do not have to be fancy. Something about hosting parties for people that don't live in your neighborhood is that you feel like you have to attract them to come to you. But when you're hosting a party in your neighborhood, they're already there. You don't need to put in a lot of effort. It's just for the sake of knowing and loving each other, and it's wonderful. As we started getting into the winter months, less and less outdoor activities are possible, but people started leaning on hot chocolate a lot, and this was one of the best hot chocolate flyers I saw. This is the pre-setup of a party. She was showing off what she had done to set her neighborhood up, and then that Colson thermos is actually a little bit more hot chocolate, so this is yet another great winter meetup. This is one of the more recent flyers that went out. This one's happening in Dayton, Ohio. It's got cider and hot cocoa, but you notice there they've got a happy hour and 2026 planning. It is perfect time to start meeting. Right now is the perfect time to start reaching out to your neighbors, even though it's cold, because you can get to know everybody a little bit. And then right as the spring hits, you can get your 2026 planning in. And people really, really love that. Giving people an opportunity to own an event is a real gift because everybody wants to throw a cool party every year, but they don't know how to do it. It's hard to get it off the ground, and you're just giving them that opportunity. So not only do I love this flyer, but I love that they've got 2026 planning in there. This shout out to Braden, who is a member of the community and an incredible artist. Look at this flyer. How cool. It finally snowed in Rhode Island enough for him to do this event. So they did a snowman building contest. I am just so jealous that this neighborhood has this incredible artist. He's also just great and been an incredible member of the community. And he comes to a lot of meetings and sort of shares his story with people. What's cool about Braden's community is that it's in a historic district. And so there's not a lot of front yards, but they just do everything on the sidewalk. And that's such a great thing for neighborhood building because they're out in the neighborhood and people get to see it and they stop by and what's everybody doing here? It's a really, really cool effect, and the flyers are top notch. If you want to turn your neighborhood into a community, if you want to do a neighborhood makeover, you need to like and subscribe to the Hey Neighbor YouTube channel. When you sign up on my website, you'll get everything you need to know about going to my weekly calls, connecting to the WhatsApp group, getting my 10-step plan, and being able to be part of the Neighborhood Makeover series that's coming here to YouTube. I just had a call with somebody who's moving to somewhere in far eastern Canada. She's going to do the Neighborhood Makeover series in her town, and we're going to get to follow her journey and see her go from neighborhood to community. It's going to be a great episode, and you can be on an episode of this too. All you have to do is like and subscribe, reach out, click on the link in my bio, and we'll get you started on the Hey Neighbor Makeover series. Thanks for watching.